Alright, it is what I fear is dog day again, which means we don't really want to go out. Which means today is going to be spent making lots of concrete and upgrading frames, melting stuff down in the forge, and doing things around the house, basically. And if I'm wrong, then I've not wasted a day, but I spent a day just not looting stuff and gaining experience via other means, which is okay with me. Got another chunk of frames here. And we can still use this time to upgrade a lot of the base's defenses, right? Actually, I'm going to hold off on upgrading anything. I'm going to stock up on the cement, because actually that's going to be an important thing here. We're melting in brass over here, so that'll give us about, what, 6,600, which is, given it uses 6 each, was enough for about 1,100 more rounds, so we have 170 right now, so we can create like 6 times the capacity. Though if we can manage to get... If we got intellect level 6, all forged recipes cost 10% less. Eventually it costs 20% less. I don't know if that 10% less would make a difference for the ammo or not. However, we're not going to output the ammo until we need it. That is a definite thing. Okay. Got handgun parts, bow crossbow parts. We do have Molotov cocktails. Got plenty of iron arrows. And we can use it during horde nights or other important things. So today I think the name of the game is pretty much just mine stone. Let us all starve down. We have some charred meat, but plenty of red tea. By plenty of red tea, I mean we need to get more red tea. Why did this get turned off? I don't know why we stopped here. That's weird, okay. So make 60 red tea. Plenty of chrysanthemum around. We also got this like super mineral water, right? Got cornmeal. What did blueberry pie take besides another step up? Animal fat, cornmeal, egg, and blueberries. We got 8 blueberries. I think I'm going to take a risk and run over and try to plant some of this stuff. Corn seed, we need 5 years of corn, yeah, and I don't think that ever gets any better. We need to get this water out so we have room to put everything else down. Got a bunch of iron spikes, traps working over there. May eventually get another workbench rolling. This is melting down fast, so let's wait till this finishes melting down, then we will continue. We can keep mining down here. Because we get like 110 stone, right? So basically we're gaining like 27.5 stone per second or something like that. It's a pretty real number. Still need that iron breaker mod to try to 4-shot or 5-shot iron. That'll be a big deal. Alright, so that's now melted down. So right now, if we wanted bullet casings, we could make just under 1,100. We'll see if that actually gets a little cheaper going forward. We can drink this. ability to defy death. Is the corn done growing? Yes, got 7, okay. Okay, I think the dogs can't get up here successfully, so this should buy us a moment if we need it. Let's look at our harvest. Okay, we can make 2 corn seeds, but did not get any corn seeds. We can, that still helps. We can have to plant 2 blueberries. Got some coffee beans back. We can turn these all back into seeds. We can plant more aloe vera here. Okay, so we got all of this to plant back down. Lots of trees there. Plant the corn. Plant the blueberries. That is everything for now. In theory, if we're moving, we shouldn't get killed by the dogs unless they happen to be, you know, right along our path. It is very likely that they'll miss you unless you happen to be running directly towards or away from them. Made it back, did not get destroyed by dogs. So this needs 14 minutes to finish crafting all this red tea. This game definitely rewards like planning ahead basically and starting the crafting of this stuff early. Okay, the water jar, we're fine there. Now when we finished our... Ironically, we actually kind of want the stone axe when it comes to harvesting, like plants and stuff, don't we? I don't know if it's that big of a difference compared to punching. But... 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's a little bit faster. It's probably not the biggest deal in the world, but it is. That does mean it is going to be technically slower. Alright, so let's try... So here we're doing nearly a 5-to-1 ratio, right? 38.7 to 8. If we were to replace this and modify this, it's a little over a 4-to-1 ratio. Though it does do 80 per hit. I don't know, we will try this out. I am not confident about it. We will try it out. I'm gonna miss my stone axe. We want to stockpile some stuff up here because we want to be able to improve a bunch of cobblestone. Bulk materials. We'll need some cobblestone to repair some damage, but otherwise we can not worry about that for now. Already got some red tea there, so let's restock there. And then I can hold on to this for now. It's not a big deal. We're not really gonna have a way to test the axe for a bit, though, are we? So what does another workbench take while we're on the subject? Again, having it available would be good. We need a wrench and a claw hammer. We can craft another claw hammer with a bunch of forged iron and everything else. We also need a wrench, right? Well, we do actually have a spare wrench. But we would need to make more duct tape to assemble the claw hammer. Which would mean 36 bones, I think. is unfortunate that you can't intentionally make a lower quality item. So we come here. Should be able to make blue. We will back this out. Come back to that. We'll use this forged iron. Claw hammer, yeah, but we need the 6 duct tape, but everything else we have ready. We can keep mining away down here. This means our faithful level 3 claw hammer will be replaced by level 5 claw hammer, but never fear, he will be remembered as part of another workbench claw hammer. But if we need iron spikes or something else made, we can have him work in there while we run around doing other stuff. This either means we just have an empty queue available if we need it, or it means we can craft things 2 or 3 times as fast if we're in a hurry. Either way, a positive. So it should be good there. It allows us to duct tape this up. Claw hammer will take 2 minutes. But we do want, we'll have to put the new claw hammer away is what we'll have to do. Okay, so what else do we need to make the workbench? Mechanical parts, so just 20 mechanical parts, which we got like 60 of right now. Yeah. I guess we can just start crafting it now. That solves that problem. Okay. And once this finishes, the next thing will be working. We have plenty of forged iron. So yeah, chugging along here. We're gaining like 25 experience per swing here as well, so it's the equivalent of killing a zombie every 20 seconds, I guess. So that's not bad. Finding the advanced bellows and the anvil schematics is going to help a lot, though. Can crank up concrete a lot faster. I guess we don't have to worry about that quite yet. But we're going to need to make sure we at least have frames up. So yes, this is pretty much a day of just mining stone beyond your comprehension. We have another point available, right? I think I'm going to max out the machine gunner for now. Which also gives us 2 stamina per shot we hit. So we have 30% more damage, 15% faster fire rate, and reload 20% faster. And I think the shotgun crafting only even gives you a double-barreled shotgun. I'm used to like I don't remember know what it's called now, but there used to be an 8-round shotgun, and at least 1 or 2 shots from that would kill a dog if you got a good headshot. And again, you're not really engaged in sniper duels with zombies. You know, versus bandits, sniper rifles might wind up being helpful, but if you need a gun for zombies, it's usually because they're close and about to destroy you. Things like cops, I guess, are one of the main-ish exceptions, because they can spit at you. So we're just digging down here. We have our new claw hammer. The old claw hammer has been interred in memoriam on the workbench that's almost done crafting. So dogs probably hit for 20 baseline, which means 5 of them hitting you just kills you. We reduce that damage by about 30% right now. It's probably worth just like seeing what the scrap armor effectively gives. So again, the scrap armor, if I have minus 30% mobility, then that means there's no way I'm going to be able to like clear these jumps and the like, so you have to put up the frames. And here for leather armor at least, you can like reduce the mobility penalty entirely. I also know there's this urban combat book that makes it so armor does not slow you down in combat, at least. I mean, it still slows you down while moving around the world, but especially if you manage to get a mini bike or other things. Yeah, so it takes, I think it takes like 40 stone in effect per concrete block. So every block we destroy here gives us close to 3 concrete blocks, which is another 660 XP effectively once everything is moved around. I think I just heard a screamer, but she'll die on the spikes. Well, that was good timing right there. Yeah, so there's the screamer. Screamer's dead. I think you can only pick up workbenches. I didn't mean to have it that way. I meant to place it the other way. Whatever. It may annoy me, but you know, I guess it's more symmetrical now. Whatever. Not what I meant to do. Not a big deal. And I don't think I can pick it up because it's not my land claim block, I think. If I craft this, what happens? I'm going to survey our land. I guess the screamer's body already disappeared, but it probably like landed there or something. Okay. If these are here, then a dog pack shouldn't be here, I don't think. I think that's correct. So maybe it is all dynamic, and we just happen to get horrible, horrible luck there. I need to think about this. Alright, so I'm going to try placing down a land claim block here. There we go. Now, since the land claim block is down, now I could take this. Well, I guess is an argument for having the land claim block somewhere, isn't it? unfortunately. I'd also pick up cement mixers, campfires, forges, not boxes. We could also just place it down when we wanted, I guess. I don't know. Maybe we'll place one down, but we'll just put it, like, on the roof there or something. But then it shows it on the map, too, doesn't it? But it doesn't track it properly. I don't know. Oh. Okay, we are going to risk... We're going to risk that if they just spawned that, we're not going to get another dog day. And if we do get another dog day... Let's eat this blueberry pie, at least. Okay. We're going for it. I don't know if you're supposed... I think that's making me think maybe it isn't a dog day. Because they did spawn a pack that wasn't dogs, and I don't know if that actually happened. Maybe we just had absolutely horrid luck. I've heard people complain about these drops, but so far they've been pretty decent to us. Ignoring all the other distractions because I don't know where this just landed. Bad sign. I'm not sure where it landed. I don't see the smoke anywhere. Well. Shouldn't the smoke last at least a little longer than that? I thought the smoke lasted at least a minute or two upon touching down. That's what has me confused. Oh, there we go. We got scrap armor bundle, an entire set of it, and a first aid kit. Okay. So we are not quite able to chop it down in 5 swings. That worked out pretty well. Is this worth it over the stone axe, though? I'm less convinced. The stamina usage is worse, and we just don't need to chop down as many trees as we do rocks, is what it kind of comes down to. We did not get anything for destroying that trash. That's unfortunate. That took 6 seconds to chop down, right? Basically. if this is probably a little bit slower, but I don't know if the difference really matters. Is the thing, right? We're not trying to dig tunnels with it, and it's better for harvesting everything else. Is the one of the big drawbacks, right? I'm gonna took 12 hits there, right, versus 6, but the attacks are supposed to be like, at least according to this, 105 versus 58. So it attacks nearly twice as fast, right? So I don't think it's worth it. Especially because it's worse at harvesting things like chrysanthemum here, crops. Like with this, we don't need to like try to unequip or worry about burning through other things. It's just there. It's fine. Lots of iron over here. How much do we think chrysanthemum stacks to? Said we do not need the tree seeds. Sorry. You are being discarded. I'm guessing the chrysanthemum stacks to 500. That's my guess. Like, we don't even really need to be bothered growing any, but we're doing it because we had the empty farm slots. Long term, maybe it's helpful. That has to be like seriously long term. Okay. Unless we're doing digging, we don't need that. The pickaxe, I think, is worth using. Because you're also just mining so much of it in comparison, and it's not used for other things, and it breaks down metal much faster. But this, and yes, we could have one-shot that instead of two-shot that, but does that really matter in this context? Every egg we get is another blueberry pie. We should have all the other mats for the blueberry pie except for the blueberries, ironically. I can make blueberry pie, no problem. What do you need for it? Blueberries. Okay then. Batter up. These guys seem tougher than some of the other ones, that's for sure. Still roaming around, finding zombies, hooray. Toss the pine seeds. Let them sprout where they fall. I don't know. I'm not sure whether the power attacks are even worth it in some of these cases, honestly. Some more nitrate right there. So the nitrate on the map, I heard there's the little dots you can spot. Okay, so the white dot is nitrate. I think this must be iron. Right, yeah, the brown dot is iron. Oh, hold on to it. I don't want to try to loot a house given that we're kind of encumbered down right now, so don't need the lead. Don't need the murky water. Could hold that. Let's make sure we get back to base safely. Keep an eye out for those fighters. I mean dogs. It's worth trying to chase the bunnies unless we're literally starving, which we are not yet. Okay, we have made it back. One of these days we'll manage to find some honey. Five encumbrance, I think we're fine. But unless necessary, don't take that risk. Okay, food. Chrysanthemum stacks to 500. So we have 544 chrysanthemum right now. I think we'll be okay for a bit. 13 eggs for 13 blueberry pies. Got some extra jars. In the box up here we have pipe shotgun, 3 book bundle, scrap armor bundle. We'll worry about opening those later on if we actually need them then. If we're going to do mass lumber chopping, maybe we can use the iron fire axe, but it's going to be definitely pull it out for special occasions only. Maybe the steels will be better. I'm just not as impressed by that as I was the iron fire axe. And even the iron fire axe, right, the main advantage was the whole bonus damage versus metal. And again, how much we're actually going to be using it. Those are the two primary factors there. I don't know where we're put. I don't remember where we're putting flashlights. That can't be the first flashlight we found, is it? Maybe it's the first normal flashlight we found. Holy cow. Okay. Well. That's the first normal flashlight we found, it looks like. And we have aloe cream that we can use to make more bandages. We have more bandages there. Each one restores 37 for us right now because we have the physician point. Lumber, 4,000 or so. Lumber should be fine for now. We're outputting this still. Output more cement. Output more cement. How we doing here? This has 7 minutes to go. That's ready. More cement incoming. Okay, we were working down here, deciding we were not going to. Let's make sure we can actually improve the main base here before we worry about building the basement out of concrete. But that's kind of the next step to go thing. And then of course, when we get more rotting flesh, we can make more farm plots. But we already have a lot of those. Like, again, it's going to become a question of eventually how many farm plots do we need. The blueberry pies are not self-sustaining because you do need the eggs, but still, blueberry pie is everything except the egg is self-sustaining. And the eggs, you basically use 1 egg for 44 food back versus the bacon and eggs is 2 eggs for 36. So the blueberry pie is definitely a much more efficient recipe, egg per egg, which is basically what winds up mattering. So back in the day, something that wasn't obvious is that certain weapons actually had a headshot modifier difference. It's like a pistol might do double damage on a headshot, a bow and arrow might do like 3 damage on a headshot, and then hunting rifles and sniper rifles had a 6 times damage multiplier on a headshot. Which meant that when you looked at like the number, it's like, okay, the Magnum deals, making up numbers, 80 damage, and the sniper rifle deals, 100 damage. I actually think it was the reverse. The sniper rifle dealt less than the Magnum, so the Magnum dealt like 100 and the sniper did like 80. And so you're like, well, why not just use the Magnum? I mean, it does more damage and can fire faster and generally more easy in close quarters. Well, the answer is because the Magnum headshots did 200 and the sniper headshots did like 480. So if you're getting headshots there, especially during Horde nights and everything lined up for you, the sniper rifle is much better at taking down that. But all the headshot damage has been standardized now, right? And let's see the perks. This is just Deadeye, more damage, aim faster, reload faster, successful kills increase damage bonus, and there's no other bonuses about that, yeah. Of course, you can just rebalance the damage to accommodate and make the Magnums do less than a sniper rifle, or you have their range significantly less, or change the accuracy, or there's a number of tools you can tweak there. Number of aspects. Alright, so before we get too much deeper, let's make sure we set up blocks here to fill in later, because we're not filling them in yet. I don't know what to make that land block claim. Again, you can't, like, the nice thing about seeing home right there is it also tells me how far away it is. Knowing that is helpful. And compared to day one, obviously, with quality 5 clubs and 50% damage bonus on clubs and like overdoing more like, what, 2.65 or something? 260% headshot damage. Okay, yeah. Like, we are obviously way better dealing with zombies day one. The question is, when are we going to start seeing things like ferals, right? Or other special zombies? We're already spotting some cops. Are we going to see more? I don't know. How much stone we got? Yeah, see? When you actually dedicate to mining stone, you can make a whole bunch of stone here really fast. Okay, and then we do the same thing over here. We don't have the concrete to fill these in right now. Oh, this is another thing. The workbench we can use for crafting cobblestone too, right? So, set down, get like 6,000 clay, 6,000 stone, just unload and leave it in the workbench, come back, and it'll be done. A second crafting queue is nice, especially when you don't need to keep interrupting it like we had to earlier, right? Because we'd have it working, we'd have to interrupt it to repair, and then we'd have to re-click the thing. So, I think things are coming together nicely here. And unless the third Horde Night is an insane difficulty spike, I'm not too worried about it right now. let's get more spikes up. Which reminds me, we should go and check that forged iron so we can get more iron spikes crafting. We have our bow. May eventually be worth putting a point or two into the bow at least, right? Because basically what the bow does that's unique, or the crossbow, is they use feathers as their source of ammunition, right? That's what's not easily sustainable with them. So having feathers and brass and lead, having a variety of different ammo types means you can stretch everything further. I was a fan of the crossbow, though. I don't know what it's like in this alpha. Alright, so we got a lot of red tea there prepped already. Did I miss some red tea? We grabbed 60, right? I don't know. Whatever. I thought I grabbed 60 off of there. And we had like 5 left, I thought. I feel like we just had some red tea disappear somehow, and I don't know how or why, and that's kind of weird. Not the end of the world. Maybe I grabbed some earlier, and maybe there's only 55 and I wasn't watching closely enough. I don't know. I won't worry about it. Yeah, we got yucca seeds there. Yucca juice. Things like the cornbread. Can we turn cornbread into anything else? Yes, actually, chili dog, okay. So we'll hold on to the cornbread if we can. Still got 1 blueberry pie and the hobo stew. Left the hobo and the grilled meat. The hobo stew in particular is huge. Okay, and then we're pretty close to being able to make blueberry pie. We can pick that up the next time we level as well. Forged iron we're outputting. Oh, we've melted all of our iron in. Let's fill this up again. That going there. You see we still have thousands upon thousands of iron. Well, let's get 412, so that makes a nice even iron spike number. There we go. Okay, and here we got cement still rolling. Good cement still going. That rolling, grab this cement. That's still got a ways to go. It's like 3,000 cement so far, right? Do we have the claw hammer in our inventory? Yes. We're gonna be right near the base. I may be quieter from them because I'm trying to listen out for those dogs. Like this already means the zombie bear would not have broken through, probably, though, given how he broke through, then came over to the next spot and broke, and then was beating it again, maybe. So I might be a little quiet here, simply because I am. We can repair this from pretty far out. Yeah, we can repair from at least 4 out. I don't think that bottle of acid is crafted. I should try to figure out where that is available from. Again, if we had found like 4 of them and we just needed a 5th, that'd be one thing, but I've only found 1. I'd like to know what I should be on the lookout for. And I still use the other one as the horde base for the moment. It'll be highly ironic if I die here to a dog pack all of a sudden. Ironic deaths are not really on my list of things to do today. Can I even upgrade underneath these? Doesn't really look like it, no. Which is fine. If the spikes get destroyed, we can rip the concrete underneath, and if they stay there, I mean, they shouldn't really be getting hit much in the first place, right? So I'm not going to worry about that skill point right now, because it ain't important. Looks like something may have given a few love taps to a few sections over here. Close to night. Are we going to be able to finish this outer wall? That'd actually be nice. Kind of thinking of that Borderlands quote 2 quote from Handsome Jack when he's like, I'll pay you enough money to buy a mansion made out of other smaller mansions. I do like this design here. I mean, obviously it's not something you can have done for a very quick base, but you can expand out. The main problem expanding out is the ramp. And if you put out too many spikes, how close are we to finishing? We're so close. Let's see if we can finish this. Open for those fighters. Alright, we did that. And we have about 500 more concrete available, okay? Minutes, 10 minutes. About for another 90 blocks right here. And we can also upgrade the bars, obviously, right? That's another thing we can do. The hope is that even if you break through the outer walls, right? It's like, then you're in here, and then we just keep shooting down. And in theory, you could do this. You don't have to do double thick walls, right? You could do single thick walls for the same thing. But I don't know if that's really worth it. The main advantage would be like if you could also make this alley too wide. So the upside of making it too wide is it's easy to shoot them if they're broken through part of the second wall. The downside is more zombies can therefore fit in there. And that's, having more zombies fit in there is probably worse. It's probably better to try to keep funneling them through and make them break other blocks. That's with my judgment. But you know, who knows? Okay, so we got the interior here concreted up, the core of the base. We got the exterior wall concreted up. We're going to need to destroy one of these inner iron bars to go fix everything up on the inside. But that's not really urgent. So that's there, that's there, that's there, that's there. Yeah, that all looks fine. Look at that, we're already nearly another level up. The power of concrete. Out of concrete. So, time to get more stone is what I'm hearing. We've been turning it into concrete fast enough. We don't really have a stockpile built up yet. So let's work on this. We have a lot of iron spikes going. We can place more wood spikes if we'd like. I think there's like a track, don't track thing with this or something too, right? Alright, so I think we go for the Master Chef thing so we can unlock the blueberry pies, because that's going to be a thing very soon, right? We got the eggs, we got all the other things. So for blueberry pie, right, as a reminder, we need blueberries, we have those working. Eggs, we got like 13 of those. Cornmeal, we have like 9 cornmeal already, plus we planted 2 corns. Animal fat, we have like 43. Boiled water, we have infinite of. I am tempted to make the next point the huntsman now, though. Just because animal fat is going to be animal fat and eggs maybe are limiting aspects, and of course more rotting flesh is, I don't know. It's not that I feel lost, it's more that it's like there's a lot of things I want to get and I don't know what I should necessarily prioritize. I mean, int for vehicles is great eventually, but like, for example, if we want to look at the motorcycle, right, it's going to require like the chassis and handlebars plus 2 wheels. So engine and lead car battery, we got that. Wheels may be trickier. The chassis requires... That's not actually that bad. What is this for? Tank size for... Okay. Yeah, actually this is not nearly so... Oh, forged steel. Oh, that's a problem. Okay, yeah, we're not going to be able to build a motorcycle. So steel requires intellect 10 to make. Yeah, crafting forged steel. Yeah, ability to make crucibles to forge steel in forges. And a crucible, right, is unlocked. I mean, if we find a schematic, I guess that allows you to make it. So if we find a crucible schematic, we're good earlier. But in order to unlock it naturally, we have to get intellect 10. And that's to make the motorbike that uses intellect 6. That's kind of oof. What about a mini bike? What does that require? Mini bike, your normal expectations. Chassis is forged iron. Okay, so maybe we do a mini bike. And wheel, so wheel requires what? So engine is not craftable. Battery is craftable, but requires 4 bottles of acid, so we'd much rather try to harvest those if we can. Unlock options, grease monkey, okay. And then wheel requires bottles of acid as well. Like this bottle of acid shit is going to be one of the things that's a real problem. Other stuff we have enough where we can find. Oil requires oil shell in an empty can. So that would be something we potentially look for later. Figure out where to find a desert. Well, shit, I was planning on trying to skip straight to motorcycles and skip over mini bikes, but then the fact that we require forged steel with that, oof. I might do a test or two in creative mode. I'm assuming then the 4x4, yeah, is going to, that's definitely going to be. So you need 4 engines, of course. Accessories is... I'm sure there's steel involved here, right? 375 steel. Okay, that is... Woo-wee! So we went from needing like 50 for the motorcycle total, I think. So, okay, so we need 375 for the 4x4. The motorcycle chassis requires a total of 52, yeah. Okay, so even if we do eventually craft a 4x4, it looks like that's way down the line. And the mini bike looks like what might be craftable in the reasonably near future. I don't know, I'll check in a moment if we even have any wheels though. And again, bottles of acid are, as you can see, are a huge... We can't make a chemistry station because we don't have that. We can't build the wheels because we don't have that. Just bottles of acid are used for so many things. The question is, how do we get more of them? Where can we find them? So I guess that's something to look at. And the only reason we considering trying to make a 4x4 truck probably is if it has more storage space than like the motorcycle. I don't know if that's a thing or not. If it does have more storage space. Okay, so yellow, so track, it becomes yellow. Okay, so that way we always know where we are. That helps. So the question is, how much like storage space do you get in some of this stuff? Where do you park it, I guess, is another question. I don't know if you can ride a motorcycle through a normal doorway. So if you're wondering why does this matter, it will determine what our future goals here are. So in terms of very immediate goals, I think we already improved the machine gunner to rank 3. We won't be able to improve that again further. I am definitely considering grabbing the huntsman. Allows me to craft a slightly better hunting knife. It won't let me craft a better hunting, it just gives me more resources, right? 20% more resources. Just because it gives us more animal fat and the like. Not even the meat is less they can spend, but the animal fat. So I think that's needed for a whole bunch of things. So let's check a few recipe stuff here. So, look at animal fat. We have 47 of that. Each blueberry pie. Where's the food cooking? Okay. I'm trying to see what requires animal fat inside of cooking only, and it doesn't look like that's going to be okay. So blueberry pie requires 1 fat each. Meat stew requires 1 fat. And that uses meat up instead of use meat and that. Pumpkin cheesecake requires egg and animal fat. I don't know if there's any point to making that beer versus I don't know if it's worth spending an egg on this. You have to spend an egg and an animal fat, right? Which is the same as blueberry pie. Plus you didn't have blueberries, but you have pumpkins, you know, I mean, then it is what it is. Steak and potato meal requires 2 meat, you know, of course, versus meat stew. So then the question is, do you want the meat stew, which requires potato and corn, or do you want this, which requires potato and mushrooms? We don't have potatoes either way, so that's something to worry about. Can of sham, if we decide to make that, again, it requires bottle of acid. I think it's crafted in lots of 5, but unless we get a source of bottles of acid, I don't think we're going to want to make that. Gumbo stew requires 3 animal fat. Hobo stew requires 1 animal fat. Shepherd's pie. Okay, so animal fat I think is definitely going to wind up being a limiting factor in some of these cases. So maybe we do go for the huntsman, at least a few points. We can put a few points into that. We could definitely use some stuff there. Okay, we got 412 forged iron as well, so this made its 30 spikes. We can just have the corner work on it, it's fine. And spikes trap. It'll take an hour to finish that, so by the time it's the morning of day 21, those will be ready, which is fine. Got another 130 to play around with right now if we need it. Forge is doing fine there. Output more cement. 5 minutes, done. 24 minutes to work on that. Sounds like what we need is more stone again. Alright, so today we're going to spend we can place the spikes very quickly, but we're going to go make sure and try to repair other spikes. We're going to use today to make sure we prep for day 21. It would be much nicer if, you know, except for maybe some more iron spikes to place, we were completely ready for the horde tomorrow. By the end of today. At the end of day 20. And we have more concrete that we'll use to upgrade stuff once we get enough of it. I'd rather not destroy the iron bar and have to go through that process more than once. So I'm going to make sure I have like thousands of concrete mix before I do that. And so we have enough stone right here to make like another, what, 500 blocks or something like that of concrete. I guess it'd be more, so if we have 20,000 stone, right, then yeah, that'd be 500 blocks of concrete. Okay. And we're nearly up to another level as well. I'm thinking we put a few points into the Huntsman, which, in retrospect, maybe I should have done earlier, but I mean, it's always a trade-off, right? What you're gonna do. So this seems a nice thing now. So we're going to go and call this here, and I'll see you on the flip side.